We are from 12th grade, class H, and we are here today to present you a role play about the human's impact on the oceans. We are trying to raise awareness on the topic, as many of you may not know what's actually going on, or you may think your actions won't change a thing.
We intend to expose the situation in a fun, innovative way, but keep in mind that it's a very delicate subject that you should all be worried about. Throughout the presentation, we would appreciate your intervention. Don't be shy. We hope you enjoy it.
Okay. My fellow colleagues, I feel very honored to be part of the Education project, which started in Alves Martins High School in Viseu, Portugal, due to the endless hard work and dedication of a group of teachers and students led by Mrs. Maria da Graça Pereira. The Education project is focused on reducing the impact of our actions on the planet, especially on the oceans. As you well know, the oceans play a vital part on cleaning the atmosphere, as they absorb enormous quantities of CO2, carbon dioxide. This leads to a decrease on the pH of the ocean's waters, which means they are becoming more acid. This phenomenon is called ocean acidification, and it is likely to affect the ability of some organisms to produce and maintain their shells, and some other organisms to even survive. Today I brought you a witness of this horrifying situation. A month ago, I was helping cleaning a beach when I saw this cute little fish struggling in a huge pile of trash. I rushed to save it as it was stuck in a plastic bottle and seemed really unhealthy. I took it to my lab, fed and cured it in order to submit it to some tests. Long story short, it became a talking fish named Bubbles.
Hello, I'm Bubbles the talking fish.
So Bubbles, can you share your story with us?
I was minding my own business, swimming with my friends, when suddenly a boat passed through us. It all happened quite quickly. It threw some trash like plastic bottles, plastic bags, and cans. My friend Sushi was caught first and couldn't get out of a plastic bag. Then Ariel was trapped in a can. While I was assimilating what was happening, I found myself inside a water bottle and couldn't escape. While I was trying to find a way out, I noticed that Ariel and Sushi had already stopped moving. Then, that's when I stopped trying to escape, and I guess I must have arrived to the shore. I was lucky enough, and it saved me.
It's alright, Bubbles, you are safe now. As you can see, ocean pollution is really affecting the species that live in it. And as I was saying, ocean acidification has become a harsh reality. What can you tell us about that, Bubbles?
I've always lived under these conditions, so I'm used to it. However, my father used to tell me that the oceans were once pure and clean water, with beautiful, healthy, and colorful corals. They were the home of thousands of different species, fish with all sizes and forms. I guess something must have changed in the last few years. The fish seem angry, sad, and sick. Another great problem is the lack of food, as many smaller species are dying, not only due to the acidification, but also due to the rising temperatures of the sea water. This is messing up the food chains and the whole marine ecosystem.
How could I forget about climate change? Certain human activities have been identified as primary causes of ongoing climate change, often referred to as global warming. Global warming is the rise of the average temperature of the Earth's system and its related effects. Some of the anticipated effects are, for example, increasing global temperatures, rising sea levels, changing precipitation, and expansion of the deserts on the subtropics, which will alter the Earth's system sooner or later, but probably sooner rather than later.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you truly believe in global warming?
What do you mean believe? It's a reality.
Whatever.
Okay, moving on. Another topic is fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, as you well know, are a very important energy resource to the human race. Although they are produced by Mother Nature herself, they are extremely dangerous and harmful to the planet, as they are non-renewable, which means they are being consumed faster than they are being created. This is why we are running out of fossil fuels such as petroleum, natural gas, and coal. Sometimes when petroleum is getting extracted from the surface, there are leaks, which are also a main threat to the ecosystems.
That reminds me of the darkest day of my life, literally. Our ancestors used to call it the dark blur. It was a death sentence, feared by every living being in the sea. You know, if you got caught, you would never survive. I was at a family dinner when suddenly a dark thing filled up the room. I was able to run away, but all of my family died, suffocated by that substance. I didn't know what it was or how it appeared.
As you can see, petroleum leaks are really harmful towards sea species. Take the Exxon Valdez oil spill from 1989 as an example. It is estimated to be one of the most devastating human-caused disasters in history. As 41,000 cubic meters were spilled, Alaska's wildlife was severely affected. Alaska's wildlife was severely affected. So, actually, 14 years later, scientists have found that the remaining oil was lasting far longer than anticipated, which in turn has resulted in a more loss of species than expected.
That was a mere accident. ExxonMobil is the world's greatest oil and gas company. In fact, its CEO is the Secretary of State of the USA.
Oh, I'm sure Donald Trump supports all types of fossil fuels extraction, no matter the consequences.
Someone has to make America great again.
There are ways of enriching the country without harming nature.
We should arrange a meeting with the president in order to show him how bad the situation is getting.
Well, here I am.
You're the I don't believe in global warming guy.
What are you doing here in an environmental conference? I thought you didn't believe in this method.
And I don't. That's why I'm here. The majority of facts you just exposed are nothing but false theories created by other countries to make America pay for it. I mean, do you actually believe in that climate change crap you are talking about? In the East, last New Year's Eve was the coldest on record. Perhaps you could have used a little bit of that good old global warming of ours, right? Climate change is just a hoax.
The whole ocean is dying because of it, and you're just sitting there doing nothing to stop it. You have no idea how humans depend on oceans to survive.
I protect the Americans, not talking fish who don't even know the benefits of petroleum to the economy of my beloved country. Throughout the Earth's history, there have been countless variations in the average temperature level. Colder periods alternate with warmer ones. This isn't new for us. It's only a natural process and has happening since, like, all the eternity. As you can see in the graphic here. The alteration. Your allegations rely on computer programs which are probably wrong.
Actually, there are studies that prove that these alterations are real and harmful to the planet. And for your information, my research is based on accurate data that I collected myself without those computer programs you're talking about.
First of all, she's a woman, which means she's less trustworthy. Exactly. And secondly, who is paying for all your research? Exactly, the government. Do you see the problem here? Instead of investing money on improving people's lives, we are throwing it away with this nonsense.
But the global warming will cause the retreat of sea ice, extreme weather conditions, and a lot more. You must do something about it. Don't you want your grandkids to grow up in a safe environment?
I do. That's why I'm building the Mexican wall.
You know what? I think we should go on a trip so you can see by yourself the destruction that global warming is causing in the oceans.
I will go on that stupid trip of yours, just to prove you I'm right. When do we leave?
There's a plane waiting for us outside.
Is it American?
As you wish.
Let's go then. Oh.
Here we are at the Great Barrier Reef in Australia.
These corals seem so white. I've always thought they were colorful and full of life.
They used to, but the ocean's acidification is turning them into dust. That's called the bleaching of corals, a process whereby the coral colonies are losing their color due to the loss of pigments.
And by the way, they are getting extinct, you know, and disrupting the food webs and all the way up to major animals.
That's horrifying. Future generations will never know the corals as we do.
It's a reality. That's it. Let's go to the next one.
So here's the Arctic.
What? Where do we land?
This is it. This is what's left of the North Pole. All of the ice has melted, and the remaining land is now covered with water.
No, that's impossible.
It's a reality. It's the reality.
I've always wanted to come to the Arctic and play with the polar bears.
And now you're telling me that there's only one left. Oh my God.
Mr. President, this is the world we live in. That's why we must do something about it.
You are the only one who has the power to stop this.
You're right. I'll call my secretary right away and we will arrange a press conference where we will discuss the problem immediate and we will present some solutions as well. You do have some measures prepared, don't you?
Yes. Here you have.
Thanks. After a while, in the
Press conference. Good morning. It's my honor to introduce you to Mr. President of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Good morning, my fellow Americans.
Good morning.
Today I bring you some bad news. I recently discovered that the global warming topic is in fact real and a major threat to our survival. Yes, I understand you're shocked, just like I was when I found out. But fear not! I've come up with a list of ideas to solve the problem. I've come up with the ideas. Not them. First, we need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And how are we going to do that, you may ask? Easy. We'll start walking more instead of driving our cars. We'll put filters in every factory and we will invest on renewable energy sources. Moreover, we could install solar panels and wind turbines all over the country. Plastic bags and plastic bottles will be completely banished. Trees will be implanted and taxes will be applied to those who harm the environment in any possible way. Companies that don't follow these rules will be severely punished. And pyromaniacs, those who put the fires, will be death sentences. Death sentences, exactly. From now on, America will become an example for the rest of the world to follow. China and Russia will die of envy.
Only
They will.
we shall be saved.
But Americans are our main concern. That's why I'm doing this. For America!
For the seats.
So, this was the end of our roleplay. Now we have a small conclusion.
Yeah.
I hope with this presentation we passed the idea accurately and made you understand some of the real issues we are facing nowadays.
There are some small steps you can take on your daily lives that can change the world. For example, our school is taking part in a project in which some students will be challenged to trade plastic bottles for other materials or stop using them at all during 100 days. Would you be able to do that?
Some students are even participating in a project which intends to study the quality of Pavia River's water. As you well know, industries and factories can expel toxic substances not only to the atmosphere, but also to the rivers and to the soils. Those toxic substances may end up in the waters we use in our homes. Thus, it is important for us, I did a little right, thus,
Yes,
to stay alert on the matter.
One of the simplest ways of helping the environment is recycling, as you well know. By separating the types of materials you use, you are turning them into new objects, which thus reducing the amount of litter humans produce. We hope we made you realize how serious the situation is getting and how a small action can make a huge difference. Because if everybody thought their actions wouldn't change a thing, we would all be doomed.
The waters are the beginning and the end of all things on earth.
We've pushed the natural balance of things to such a degree that we're very close to a breaking point.
We are tied to the ocean, and when we go back to the sea, whether it's to sail or to watch, we are going back to whence we came.
Well done.